So, good evening everyone. It's actually a Saturday night here. We're down at Tenerife Airport. We've just dropped off a car, and a lot of you do ask, can you do another update of what the airport's like at the moment? Is it busy? A lot of people asking about taxis and buses and things. So I thought we'd do another little walk around the airport, see how busy it is, give you a few little tips and tricks, and then we might actually head a little bit further on to a section where you can actually do a bit of plane spotting. So that's the plan for this vlog. Welcome to Tenerife Airport. It is much busier than when we did it last time. As you can see in the background there, the new terminal is really cracked on. They're on the final stages really of that. So all very exciting. There's a bit of hustle and bustle going on. A Saturday at the moment seems to be one of the busiest days for the airport. So let's stride on, take a little walk. Might even jump on one of the planes. No, that's not happening, don't worry. But let's take a little walk, and I will try and give you a few little tips and tricks along the way if I can help you with some things at the airport. But it is a little bit windy as usual. Quite a few sounds of planes and stuff as well. So let's head inside and see how busy it is inside now. So we are just cutting through the public car park. Now, one little first tip I've got for you, pay attention to the signs in terms of the car parks. We get a lot of rent-a-cars pulling into the public car park that shouldn't be in here, that should go to the car park further down. So it does happen all the time, and then they get stuck at the barrier because they don't realise you've got to pay to get out. So if your rent-a-car is not in the public car park, there is some companies that work from this one. But your main rent-a-car car park is a bit further down, so do pay attention to the signs. If you are returning your rent-a-car to the proper rent-a-car car park, you're going to want to drive past this, because if you come in, you've got to get out, you've got to pay the ticket, you've got to get back through the barrier and then go into the rent-a-car a bit further down. So that's the first little tip I've got, because so many people get stuck at the barrier here and they don't know to pay the ticket, they don't know how to get out, they don't know how to get to the next car park, so just watch out for that. Just another quick thing to mention, this drop-off zone here, it is free, but make sure you stay with your car, because a lot of the time people do get towed away. You can see the little sign there. If the police come along and you're not with your car, it will get towed away or you will get a ticket. So make sure you stay with your car if you are picking up or dropping someone off. There's a few here you'll see without people in. If the police come, they'll be definitely getting a fine, so just watch out for that as well. But we're going to head inside now. You can see quite a few people around, and we'll see just how busy departures is at the moment. So as you can see, there was a big queue for rent-a-cars there. Very, very long queue. And as you can see from here, there is a long queue for taxis as well. So do expect a bit of a wait. There is a bit of a longer queue here for taxis. The reason I zoomed in on that little phone, I will explain shortly. That is a little customs phone, and I will explain why I zoomed in on that to show you where it is shortly. So the reason I zoomed in on the customs phone is now with Brexit and everything, when you go back to the UK, if you have duty-free goods over £300 worth, you do have to declare them. Now if you make a big purchase over here, say a piece of jewellery, you know, something that was over £500 or £1,000, you can keep the receipt, download or ask the shop to give you a customs declaration tax form, and you can fill that in and claim back your tax, the IDJIC sales tax on that purchase. But what you must do when you filled in the form is get it stamped by the Guardia Civil. So you would call them on the phone, they will come down, they will check your receipts, they'll have a look at what you bought maybe, check the form you filled in, stamp it to make it official, and then what you'll do, you'll actually post that back to Tenerife or back to the store that you bought it from, and they will refund you those taxes that you've paid over here. So that's why I did zoom in on that phone. Also, if you had any trouble or you did need to contact the police or the Guardia Civil about maybe you've lost your passport or something like that, if you pick up that phone, that does take you straight to the police in the airport, and they can give you some assistance. As you can see, taxi is very busy. You will have to wait for a taxi. Car rentals, extremely busy, big long waits. If you want to avoid them waits, Synasty.com, we do have a different system that avoids all those queues. And also in general, your bus transfers are quite busy. You can actually catch the general public bus as well, to the likes of Santa Cruz or Dequi, Los Cristianos. The one for the south is the 111, the 111. You can get on that bus, you can pay by cash when you get on the bus, or you can buy a card here at the kiosk, and you can get the bus there. Again, they will be a little bit busy, you might have to wait a little bit. There is limited capacity on the buses as well, and just to warn you, there is no help with getting your luggage on and off the bus as well. So you will have to put it on the undercarriage yourself, you'll have to get it off yourself as well, so just be wary of that. If you're not very fit or strong, you know, you might struggle getting all your luggage under the bottom of the bus. But in general, very, very busy, especially on a weekend, Saturday here, it is pretty busy. We're going to head into the car now. We're going to jump in the car, we're going to head to the end of the runway and try and do maybe a little bit of plane spotting and show you where you guys can do a bit of plane spotting if that's what you're into. It's a little bit of a kind of a little hobby for me. I do watch other YouTube channels that do it sometimes for a bit of fun. So we'll go and show you that, but I hope that did give you a bit of information about the airport. I would recommend as well, oh, my arm's getting sore. I would recommend getting to the airport maybe half an hour to an hour earlier than you normally would. So I'd maybe arrive 3 hours before your flight, just to account for all the extra queues. Maybe if you have an extra security check, a lot of time is being spent checking people's passes, checking people's tests. So I would recommend coming a little bit earlier than you normally would, just to be on the safe side. One other thing to mention as well, full of information, when you go through and you're travelling back to the UK, there is a separate section of departures now, which is for the UK travellers. Now when you enter that section, there is nowhere to buy food and drink. So make sure you buy a few bottles of water and a bit of food or drink, etc. before you enter this separate UK section. I think it's a load of boarding gates that are just for the UK. So do be careful of that. I've not seen it myself because I've not travelled through it, but I've been told by a few people, once you enter this new UK section, there's nowhere to buy drinks, nowhere to buy food or snacks. So I recommend just buying some before you enter this UK section. But that is about it for new information that I've got from here. It is busy, it's bustling. Anything else you think I should add? No, I think that's pretty much it. It's hot. There is AC inside. But let's jump in the car and let's head to the end of the runway and try and see a few of these planes, because there's plenty of people around, so should be plenty of flights. So we've just come to the next junction along, which is the one for El Medano. It's literally the next junction after the airport, and it's just round here. I don't know exactly, I know roughly where it is. I've been to it once before. It's not far from the scrapyard that we went to on a few weeks ago on the vlog, and not far from the shrine either that we visited on the vlog as well. It's as if you're heading towards El Medano, but you will turn off to the right pretty early on before you get to El Medano. I will get Laura to show it in a minute, the little turn off. I think you can find it roughly on Google Maps as well, but it's right sort of towards the end of the runway, so you do get them flying over you. It depends which direction. They normally take off in this direction, so they normally be taking off over you rather than landing. Sometimes, depending on the wind, they will land in this direction, but not very often. One other thing just to touch on with, it's hard to explain the, it's just this right here, very early. So it's just after you come off for El Medano, you just turn down this little back road. But it's hard to explain the thing with the taxes. So if you do have that big purchase, you can claim back the tax from over here, which takes a few weeks to go back into your account. But what you should do when you get to the UK is then declare the product you've bought, and then in the UK you'd pay the 20% VAT. So you will actually pay a little bit more tax because the tax rate over here is slightly lower than the UK, so you will pay a little bit more. But people are saying they don't quite know what to do, because they don't know whether the police over here, once you start to claim back your tax and you get it stamped, people think this is what's going on, is the police and the Guardia Civil are then contacting the UK to say, look, this guy's bought this, this and this, he's claiming the tax back, so make sure you catch him at the airport and charge him your tax your end. So there's a lot of people saying, oh, don't try and claim your tax back in Spain, just walk through with it in the UK, and then you'll have paid a cheaper tax rate in Spain than you will in the UK. But then there's a chance, if you don't claim it back over here, you land in the UK, if they check your bags and they find receipts and your purchase, they'll still charge you the 20% tax on top. So then you've paid tax in both countries. So it is very complicated. A lot of people don't know what to do. No one knows what to advise, whether to claim it back here, then play a bit more in the UK, or just try and go through and not declare it at all in the UK. It's a tricky one, very tricky. Well, it's hard to explain, but I'm sure most of you sort of get the gist of what I'm saying. It is all quite new with Brexit, so we don't know whether Spain are communicating with the UK and telling them as soon as you get it stamped here in this airport, whether to make sure that in the UK they're going to stop you. So we're coming up, it's in this general area where we stop and park. It's somewhere around here, so I will get back to you once we've stopped and parked. Okay, so we have just parked. We're just on a little bit of scrap land. We're going to keep an eye on the car. It's not really official parking, but it doesn't say you can't park either. There is loads of tyre tracks, so plainly other people do. Obviously you can't get too close, it is all fenced off. We're right above El Medano beach just here, and this is the end of the runway here, so we will get to see them taking off over us today. The wind is going in that direction, so they always take off into the wind. So we'll try and maybe catch a few on camera for you, have a little bit of a mooch around. You know, I can hear something rumbling over there. They are quite loud when they fly over. So we'll take a little look, a little bit of a mooch around. If someone is interested, I know there's a lot of plane spotters out there. There's a lot more people enjoy this stuff than they admit. So some of you might want to come down, have a little bit of an explore. A little bit further on is the little shrine that we visited on the channel that you might be interested in visiting at the same time. And then you can carry on down to El Medano. I will link in the description the video we did of the little shrine. It is quite interesting, like a bit of a cave shrine. It was quite interesting that, but see if we can spot a few planes and fly on.
I was on a plane to California. I had all the time I'd ever need. Did you even know I was looking for you? But I was hiding, that's right.
So you can actually see the shrine from here. That's how close it is. That is the shrine right there, just at the end of the runway. So, and this big water tank that there, but this is the shrine here. It's free to enter. Obviously just be respectful when you go in. But let's wait for the next plane. You can actually get a bit of a better view through the fence. It's not the best on camera really, but it is quite a sunset sort of sky as well. Didn't have you down as a plane spotter, Laura. I wouldn't mind bits of it. You know, it's big in the UK. I was saying to Laura, if this was Heathrow or something and you could stand this close to the end of the runway, this would be full of people. It's massive in the UK, the plane spotting. Can't see behind us, lovely clear view up Tady. There is a breeze here as well, so if there is a bit of a breeze down the microphone, I apologise. And then right in front of us, you've got Airport Rock, as I call it. You can walk to the top of that. It's right above El Medano Beach, that. It's actually Red Mountain, but I call it Airport Rock. It's the rock you see when you get out of the airport or land at the airport, so that's what I nickname it. Yeah, it's nice views all around, especially this sort of time with the sun going down. It is about 7 o'clock at night, so it is nice of an evening. It's not too hot, nice breeze. It's been boiling today. If you came here midday, you would just be baking, so it's actually quite a nice time to come actually. That was a Ryanair there. Friendly low fares, made simple. That was a little Ryanair flow over there. The first one I think was some form of, looked like Turkish. Yeah. It was a brand I'd never really seen before. That was a Ryanair. They look miles away on the screen. It looks miles away, but they are actually a lot closer in person. So I don't know whether I don't know whether the camera will do much justice, but it is quite enjoyable actually. If you're into this thing, this is pretty close, I think. Let me know your thoughts in the comments as well if you are into this, if you've done this before as well. It's, as I said, more popular than people admit. We're just saying then, if this is your thing, you could pull up there, get your little deck chair out, get your little flask of tea out, little sandwich, Roy Cropper style, park yourself here, sunset going on, and just watch your planes take off and land. If that's what you're into, binoculars out, through the fence. Have your little tracker on the screen, you know. You could do it. That's your thing. I've quite enjoyed it, to be fair. It's quite peaceful down here. I'm going to wait for one more plane and then we will head off. Got to get making some dinner. But I hope you have enjoyed it. If you have, make sure you hit the thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe to the channel as well. There's loads of different Tenerife videos on the channel, from live streams to excursions to tips and tricks to just us clowning around. There's all kinds on the channel, so do make sure you subscribe. We're going to wait for one more plane first though. So guys, that is it from us here at Tenerife South Airport. I hope you did get some tips and tricks. Got another one taking off here. A little bit of a spot here as well for you to watch some if it is of interest to you. That's EasyJet. So I hope you did enjoy that. Please do hit the thumbs up. Follow me on Instagram, Facebook. I will leave the link in the description for the other vlog as well of the shrine. But yeah, that's it from us. I hope that does give you a bit of an idea of what Tenerife South Airport's like at the moment. A few tips that might help you. One other thing that people do mention quite a lot, see these things do just spring to mind, there's a lot of delays at the gates boarding the plane as people are flicking through their phone to try and show the UK form, to try and find the QR code, then they're flicking through trying to find the negative tests. So I would recommend, if you can, do it the old-fashioned way. Print it all off so you can just quickly go, there's his. What you're finding is families and things are flicking through, oh there's this child, or let me find, oh there's the other child, and it's taking time as people are flicking through the pictures on their phone. It might be worth to save a bit of time printing them off the old-fashioned way, so each person can just have the documents they need, show it as they board the plane and get on. A lot of people are saying it's delayed because people are stood there flicking through their phone. Oh no, it's in my emails. Oh no, it's in my pictures. Oh, I think it's in my documents. That this is all taking time. So I would recommend old-fashioned way, print the stuff off if you can. But yeah, that is it from us. Stride on and see you soon.
Bye guys.
Bye guys.
Really need